All right, for this other expenses portion, you can talk to your parents about these. You could Google average cost of these. One thing you want to keep in mind is that the cost for your parents might be different than what it would be for you coming out of college, depending on the size of the house. So if you're doing electric bill, natural gas, water, sewer, trash, that kind of thing is going to be different in an apartment. It's going to be different in a large house versus a smaller house. So I would think first about where you're going to live when you get done with college. Are you going to be renting an apartment? Are you going to be looking to rent a house? Are you going to be living with roommates? What's that going to look like? And again, it doesn't have to be exact. This is just getting you in the mindset of thinking about this. Okay. So, I would start at rent, kind of thinking about where you're going to live, and then do expenses based off of that. Now, you could do $0 rent if you're going to live with your parents when you graduate college, if that's actually logistically a thing that you would do. Don't do it just so you can put a $0 here if you're not going to actually do that. You could rent an apartment with, a roommate. So you could look at that to reduce that expense. Or if you want to be living by yourself, then look up where you want to be living. So I would say, I don't know, I'm just going to put $1,000 here. Renter's insurance, look up the average cost of renter's insurance, not very much. So I'm going to put maybe like $10 here. Look up auto insurance. Okay. So Google that for yourself, your age, your gender. Okay. And the car. So remember, you looked up a car that you were going to purchase. So for this car, okay, look up what an average auto insurance would be. It's going to be higher when you're 22 than for me. Okay. So I'm just going to put $100 a month. That might be low for you. Food, think about, how much you're going to spend on food a month for groceries, that kind of thing. I'm going to put $300 here. Phone, how much is your cell phone? Internet, do you have cable? Maybe you don't. You could put streaming services here. How much do you pay for Netflix, Hulu, that kind of thing? Or if that's not a budget expense for you, if you wouldn't have cable, you could put 0 there. I personally don't, so I'm just going to put in for a streaming service. Water. Okay, how much do you spend on gas for your car per month? Right now, a lot. And then electricity for your house. Again, if it's going to be an apartment, that's going to be, not quite as much as a house. So whatever these end up being, then just total those up. Okay, so just add those all together. So for me, that's $1,840. So this is the final category of your project from all of the things that you've done. So in number 7, you're going to start putting in your monthly payments, okay, into here to figure out how much you'll have left in your paycheck. So go back to, your net monthly salary. So go back to the salary screen. Okay, figure out what your net monthly salary was. So let me calculate mine here quick. Okay, so for this one, it was, after I subtracted taxes, $2,849.06. So then that would be here, $2,849.06. So whatever your salary is, then you need to subtract your loan payment for college. Okay, so go back to college, get that payment. So $773.96. Then get your car payment. So $395.13. And again, these are going to be your numbers. Then your annuity payment. This is your retirement. Okay, so from number 21. So I did $400 a month. Your down payment savings from your house. So that was blank number 31. And then your monthly expenses. So $1,840 for me. So then you'll take your paycheck, okay, your net paycheck, and you'll subtract off all of these numbers to see how much of your paycheck you have left at the end of the month. And for this case, I have negative $1,060.03, which makes you really want to cry. So, remember that this is your starting salary. So this is just kind of where you're starting off. Some of these expenses can then be reduced by doing different things. Okay. So reducing your college payment by saving money, okay, while you're in college, or paying towards it while you're in college. Often your college loan payments wait for 6 months, okay, after you graduate before you have to start paying them. So you wouldn't have this expense for 6 months. So you could start putting some of this money away. Like you could save $300, $400, $500 a month so that once it starts, you'd have some. This one was the car loan. Okay, so maybe you can't buy a brand new car right away. So maybe that expense goes away and you start saving some money for a few years. You buy a cheaper car, okay? Or you use your current car until it dies and save money while you're doing that. Okay, retirement you probably want, saving a down payment for a house. Okay, so then maybe this one just decreases for a little bit until your salary increases. So you save a little bit less money per month and you move out when you buy a house for more than 5 years. Okay, this living expenses one. So where could you cut some things out of your other expenses? Could you get a roommate or two, okay, to reduce this expense, which would then reduce other expenses. Okay, it's going to reduce all of these expenses if you're living with somebody because you'd be splitting those bills. So that's going to cut down some different things. But this just, again, is giving you worst case scenario, okay, of all of the things that you're planning, just to have that in mind.